I thought it was pretty good. Thank you. Before that, I decided to be a little more thrifty and try stuff I have at home. And I don't know if any of you do this, but you know, when you wash your clothes, you can wash them while, these are clothes I had in the laundry. You can wash them while you're wearing them. And that's what I was starting to do. I have a system where I have a whole mess of brand new sponges with the rough side on them, and I'll wear the clothes, and I'll find a spot and I'll brush it off, and I'll get it going. And I'm hoping this joke kind of gets going. You guys, it didn't at first. I could see the faces are like, please give us a chance to laugh, will you? Give us a chance. But I did that instead of I went out, so I came home to risk asking my wife what it looks like, because I was very uptight. It was just yesterday. I said, can I ask her? I gotta tell her that I just want a yes and no, because she might get like, well, it looks like you're like somebody from Star Wars or something, so it might not fit. So I figured I think she's cool, and I'll ask her. And so I put on the outfit. I had a red shirt and a blue shirt. And I asked her, and she says, you look like a beatnik. And I thought, that's great. I got all pissed off and, yelling and stuff like that. But I ended up wearing it because I kind of like looking like a beatnik. Anyway, I got a lot of good stuff here. I'm really glad to be here. I'm glad that my wife is here. And thank God I look in you, there's no ex-girlfriends here tonight. And my wife's like a great cook. She's very fast, she's a fast cook. She'll put in a chicken, some carrots, and some potatoes, and it's done in no time. I grabbed a potato the other day and went, everything's al dente. Everything comes out so fast. She cooks it. I cut the chicken, and I started complaining, and she said, what, did you cut your finger? I said, no, that's the chicken. The chicken's bleeding, But no, we did put it back in the oven and cooked it well done, and she's a great wife, and I love her. Thank you. My name's Dexter, and there's a TV show or a cable show called Dexter on Showtime. So people meet me that don't know me, and they say, "Hey, wow, I saw episode 4. It was really good. That was great. Thank you, man. Thank you. That was." I go, "I'm not a director or writer or even an actor in the show," and it happens to me all the time, And I was traveling yesterday. I didn't work today. I'm a driver, and I had to go through the Lincoln Tunnel. I don't know if any of you ever took notice that there's a guy that works inside the Lincoln Tunnel in the middle, in the wall, like the wall shaped like this, and he's in there, and it's an office, and there's 2 windows. And I was like, wow, this is really something. This guy, he must be lonely in there. They only can get one guy. They can only afford one guy with all the benefits and stuff. And I one time saw one of those push trucks with the rubber flat front that push the cars out, and they're changing shifts up there, letting this guy in, and letting the shifts change. And I was just the other day with a couple friends, and we had a bunch of cheese doodles, and we thought, wow, we could chuck these cheese doodles in on him because he's so lonely. He's probably doing nothing. Maybe he's so lonely he's masturbating. If you chuck it to cheese doodles, it'll be hand to bag to this to that, and pretty soon he'll have an orange stick. That's my only dirty joke. It's dirty. It's terrible. It's terrible. I don't know if you've ever noticed that the gas stations in New Jersey, which is where I drive, have terrible bathrooms. It's uncanny. You walk in, and first of all, they give you a key and a chain and a tire, or and you go in and everything smells, and sometimes they put it on a piece of wood, which I find gross. There's a piece of wood on the end of a keychain for a bathroom. But I find myself going and on the way in, look around the corner, take a sniff of it, what? That's pretty bad too. Yeah, keep that kind of jokes out of here, will you? Come on, that's really filthy stuff. We're trying to eat Mexican food over here. But what I find is even with a brand new gas station, they have the bathroom. It's almost like when they're building the gas station, they say, Joe, when you get to the bathroom, break the tiles, trash it out, and throw a lot of crap in there just to make it look really, really bad, because we can't have in Jersey a clean bathroom. There's no way. I went this is the holiday season, as you know, and I'm actually really excited. I like the holiday season. And it's some pressure. You're supposed to be jolly. You're supposed to be happy all the time, and it's not always to do that. It's not always easy to do that, you know. This Thanksgiving, me and my wife went up to the in-laws up in Minnesota, pretty far up, to take a plane ride, and we get there, and the kids who usually jump up and down and say, Uncle Dexter, Aunt Randy, are, you know, not doing it this year. They're like, you know, just not jumping up, not that happy. And when we tried to intermingle with her brother and the sister-in-law, they were like distant and cold, which was really hard for us. We were without a car. We kind of stuck there, and I remember we were at the dinner table. We weren't able to help. We asked if we could help with the dinner, the turkey and this and stuff. They cooked the turkey in this bag and they put it out, and now they're arguing silently, looking at each other. You know, because they were bickering all weekend. They're like giving each other like, you know, kind of looks like that. And then they finally had to get up from the table and go into the kitchen and do whispering arguing, we call it. The man's voice and the woman's voice different and this and that. You know, it was just really funny like that. You know, this self-deprecation is working better than the actual jokes. This is easy. You know, Santa Claus, I'm so glad I'm not in conflict anymore. When I was a kid, it would be like, is he for real or isn't he? And I had an older sister who messed it up on me and told me that Santa Claus didn't really exist. Then I had other people who told me that, come on, he's for real, believe. You know, now I don't even have to worry about that. But I still, to this day, wonder, how does he get around the world and eat cookies off of everybody's table? Sometimes he eats a bite, and then he eats a whole of another one. Or sometimes he eats a half and half and half. And the reindeer can't even help him because they can't come down the chimney. They can't help him. And the elves are like, you know, we worry about ourselves all the time. Elves have low elf-esteem also. Yeah, that's good. I wrote that. You know, I don't know if you remember Lorena Bobbitt. The reason I do remember, I'm sorry, I know this is like in the 80s. Wait a minute, Dexter, this is the Lorena Bobbitt's the 80s show. It goes on forever, you know, because this morning I heard on the radio that Lorena got involved with a bad car wreck. I'm serious, just this morning. I'm driving around trying not to be nervous, and there she was on the radio, this thing about her in a bad car wreck. Some prick cut her off. Okay? Viagra, you know, Viagra, I personally can honestly tell you I've never tried. I don't think that it's something that I would need or anything like that. And I don't really think that would be something I would even consider. I told my wife, no, you got all these ads, all this stuff, I'm not trying it. To be honest with you, when it first came out, I had a doctor who wrote me a script and said, you should try this stuff. It first came out. I couldn't believe it. I went, and I couldn't buy all of them. They was like just like $360 for the script, and I bought one for $12. Went back to my wife's mother's place to try it. So I was at work. I thought it was like the 70s again. You experiment, you know. You try a little bit of acid, you try a little bit of that, and you experiment everything. And I thought it was, wow, I'm going to try this stuff. I didn't know you're supposed to do it and then find somebody to be with, you know. I knew yes, but I thought that my main focus is, does this stuff work? It's supposed to be, you know, something else. I went and took it, then I went to take a leak in the bathroom, and sure enough, boom. I was embarrassed to come out of the bathroom. Because then here I am, I had to put my shirt out. It was really, and this is a true story. It's a true story that you wonder how much you should really tell it, that kind of story. You know, I was in the elevator and the guy's bringing up O.J. Simpson. He is forgotten, right? I mean, there's no big things about him, except that the guy in the elevator was telling me how they were taking him from one facility in Las Vegas to another facility. So they had to move him. So he's going to be open for a little while. So this woman reporter from California came down to ask him a few questions. She thought she could catch him. She caught him. She said, "O.J., would you ever remarry?" He said, "I'd take a stab at it." All right, that's good.